If you're a man over 60 and you eat fish more than once a week, one of those seafoods might be quietly destroying your prostate. It's not about mercury or cholesterol, it's something much sneakier. Today, I'll show you the 3 worst seafoods for your prostate health and one surprising catch that could actually protect it. What seafood does to a man's hormones. Over 60 and why no one talks about it. All right, gentlemen, let's talk about seafood. No, not in the what's for dinner kind of way. I'm talking about how some of these slippery little swimmers are quietly messing with your prostate behind the scenes. See, most men over 60 think seafood is a safe bet. Fish is good for my heart, they say. Well, sure, Harold, but what about your hormones? Here's the truth nobody's told you. Certain seafoods can ramp up inflammation, throw off your testosterone balance, and irritate the prostate like a pebble in your shoe. And most guys have no clue they're doing it. Now don't get me wrong, I'm not here to ruin your shrimp cocktail dreams. There is seafood that can help. In fact, I'll show you one that might just save your prostate later in this video. But first, let's understand what's going on under the hood. As we age, our bodies naturally slow down testosterone production. Think of testosterone like the oil in an old car engine. If it gets too low, things start squeaking, leaking, and swelling where they shouldn't. And your prostate? It's particularly sensitive to changes in hormones and inflammation. Even small shifts from food, stress, or toxins can make it act up. Here's where seafood sneaks in. Some types are loaded with things like omega-6 fats, the inflammatory kind, mercury, and hormone-disrupting chemicals from farmed waters. Others are deep-fried and served with a side of "let's ruin your prostate" sauce. Still with me? Good, because I'm about to walk you through the 3 worst offenders. One of them is sitting in nearly every freezer aisle right now, looking innocent and crispy. But inside, it's a prostate nightmare. Before we get to that, let's quickly break down how inflammation affects the prostate and why it matters more after 60 than ever before. Trust me, this next bit will make you look at your dinner plate a little differently. Seafood mistake. Number 1, the fried crunch that fuels inflammation. Let's start with the obvious villain, the one that looks innocent on the outside, but is secretly causing mayhem in your body. I'm talking about everyone's favorite golden, crispy temptation, fried shrimp. Now, before you get defensive, yes, I know it's delicious. Yes, I know it reminds you of family dinners, beach holidays, and that one buffet you swore was worth the heartburn. But here's the deal. Fried shrimp is like a Trojan horse for prostate problems. Here's why. Shrimp on its own? Not terrible. High in protein, low in fat, not the worst thing you could eat. But the moment you dunk it in oil and breadcrumbs, something nasty happens. First, that crunchy coating is usually deep-fried in cheap vegetable oils, the kind loaded with omega-6 fatty acids. Now, omega-6 isn't evil in small amounts, but when it dominates your diet, like it does in fried foods, it triggers chronic inflammation. And guess what's extremely sensitive to inflammation? Yup, your prostate. Chronic inflammation makes the prostate swell, puts pressure on your bladder, and even increases the risk of long-term issues like BPH. Not to mention, it makes those 3 a.m. bathroom runs a regular thing. But wait, there's more. Fried shrimp often comes from farmed sources, meaning it's raised in crowded conditions with antibiotics and chemical residues. And we don't even need to talk about the sauces. Those creamy, sugary dips are an extra slap in the face to your hormones. So let me paint the picture. You sit down with your golden platter of shrimp. It's hot, it's crunchy, it's dripping in tartar sauce. But inside your body, your prostate is waving a white flag, begging for mercy. But Missy, I hear you say, I only have it once in a while. Sure, and that's fair. But here's the thing. When you're over 60, your body isn't as forgiving. A younger guy might bounce back. You're playing a different game now, and the rules have changed. Now here's the kicker. There's another type of seafood even sneakier than fried shrimp. You'd think it's healthy because it's in every heart-smart recipe. But for your prostate, It's a silent saboteur. We'll get to that in just a second. And I'll also explain how you can undo some of the damage if you've been making this mistake for years. Seafood mistake number 2, the healthy fish that isn't helping your prostate. Missy Klein, voiceover. All right, let's move on to the one that really frustrates me. Because this seafood pretends to be healthy. Doctors talk about it, nutritionists recommend it. But for men over 60 trying to protect their prostate, it's a trap. I'm talking about tilapia. Yes, I know, tilapia's cheap, it's easy to cook, and it's on every healthy recipe blog, but it's also one of the most misleading fish you can put on your plate. See, the problem isn't just the fish itself, it's how tilapia is farmed. Over 90% of the tilapia in the US and Europe comes from overseas fish farms, mainly in China and Southeast Asia. And in those farms, tilapia are often fed soy and corn-based pellets, loaded with pro-inflammatory omega-6 oils, the same type we talked about with fried shrimp. Now here's where it gets worse. Tilapia can actually contain more omega-6 than bacon. Let that sink in. That means you're eating something that's doing the opposite of what your prostate needs. Instead of reducing inflammation, it's stoking the fire. And as that low-level inflammation simmers, it can lead to swelling, pressure on your bladder, and even contribute to prostate cell changes over time. But wait, there's one more issue. Farm tilapia are often raised in overcrowded ponds, which can lead to poor water quality. To deal with that, farmers may use antibiotics and pesticides, which can disrupt your hormones. And you don't need me to tell you what that means for prostate health. Now you might be thinking, Missy, what if I just eat wild-caught tilapia? Honestly, it's hard to find. Most wild tilapia aren't even sold in stores. So unless you've got a fishing rod and a passport, chances are you're getting the farmed stuff. So if tilapia is out, what's a better option? I'll tell you in a bit, because there's one powerful seafood coming up that actually protects the prostate and supports healthy testosterone levels. But first, we've got one more fish to cover. And this next one is the most common seafood mistake I see men make, especially those trying to eat clean. Stay with me. Mistake number 3, the sneaky one that disrupts hormones. All right, here's the third seafood mistake, and it's one a lot of men fall for. It looks clean, lean, and responsible. It shows up in meal plans, on salads, and even in those doctor-recommended fitness meals. I'm talking about canned tuna. Now I know, this one hurts a little. Tuna's been a bachelor's best friend since the 1950s. It's cheap, it's fast, and hey, it smells like you're doing something healthy. But here's the deal. When you're over 60 and your hormones are already on a tightrope, canned tuna can tip you over the edge. Here's why. Tuna, especially albacore and big eye, is a larger fish, which means it sits high on the food chain. And the higher up the chain a fish is, the more mercury it tends to contain. Mercury is a heavy metal that builds up in your body over time. And here's the kicker. It's a known endocrine disruptor. That means it can interfere with the delicate hormonal balance that helps keep your prostate healthy and your testosterone steady. Let's break that down simply. Testosterone isn't just about muscles and libido. It plays a key role in prostate regulation, keeping the gland from enlarging too fast and helping cells behave normally. Now throw mercury into that mix, you get a cocktail of confusion for your body. Lower testosterone, higher inflammation, and more stress on your prostate. And we haven't even mentioned BPA, the chemical lining in many tuna cans. Studies have shown BPA can also mess with hormone receptors, which is like confusing your body's instruction manual. Especially dangerous when you're trying to age gracefully down there. Now, am I saying you can never eat tuna again? No, I'm not your mom. But if it's a weekly habit, and you're already noticing more frequent urination, lower energy, or changes down there, it might be time to rethink the can. Luckily, we're about to flip the script, because while these 3 seafoods can quietly sabotage your prostate, there's one, just one, that's rich in nutrients your prostate loves. and it's been called nature's testosterone booster in a shell. You'll want to hear this. The one seafood that can actually help your prostate and how to use it. Missy Klein, voiceover. All right, gentlemen, we've covered the 3 sneaky seafoods that can mess with your hormones and stir up your prostate like a hornet's nest. But don't worry, I'm not here to ruin seafood forever, because there's one ocean dweller that actually does the opposite. It supports your hormones, reduces inflammation, and gives your prostate the kind of nourishment it loves. Ready? It's none other than oysters. I know. Oysters are slippery, weird-looking, and maybe not what you had in mind. But for men over 60, they're kind of a superhero in a shell. Here's why. Oysters are packed with zinc, and zinc is like a VIP bouncer for your prostate. It keeps the hormonal balance in check, reduces swelling, and even helps regulate cell growth inside the gland. Think of it like this. Without enough zinc, your prostate's control panel starts flashing warning lights. With zinc, things hum along smoothly. Studies show that men with low zinc levels tend to have more prostate problems, and unfortunately, zinc absorption drops with age. That's why giving your body a little boost matters more now than ever. But oysters don't stop there. They've also got selenium, another nutrient that's been shown to support prostate health and help reduce oxidative stress. And those omega-3 fatty acids? They fight inflammation gently, like a cool towel on a hot forehead. Plus, oysters are small, low mercury, and usually eaten raw, steamed, or smoked, not battered and deep fried like the others we talked about. You can find them canned or jarred at most supermarkets. And if you're a texture-sensitive guy, try smoked oysters on toast with a little olive oil and pepper. Surprisingly tasty, and no fishy drama. Now, I get it. Oysters aren't for everyone. If they're just not your thing, pumpkin seeds, cashews, or even a good zinc-rich multivitamin can help you bridge the gap. But oysters? They're the natural, powerful, no-jargon way to give your prostate a leg up as you age. And honestly, if your prostate could talk, it'd probably ask for a half-dozen oysters and a quiet evening without 4 bathroom trips. Let's wrap this up with a recap and a few small steps you can take right now to protect your prostate, starting today. Whoa, we've covered a lot today, haven't we? And I know some of it might have been a little surprising. I mean, who would have thought that tilapia could be worse for your prostate than a bag of chips? But here's the big takeaway. When it comes to your prostate, what you eat matters more than you think. So let's do a quick recap. Seafood mistake. Number 1, fried shrimp. Delicious, sure, but dripping in omega-6 oils that stoke inflammation and stress your prostate out. Mistake number 2, farmed tilapia. Low cost but also high in hormone-disrupting feed and poor farming conditions. Mistake number 3, canned tuna. The mercury and BPA combo is like a double punch to your testosterone levels. And the seafood your prostate actually wants? Oysters. Small, zinc-packed, and backed by solid science. A couple servings a week can go a long way toward calming inflammation, balancing hormones, and giving your prostate the support it needs to age gracefully. Now, I'm not asking you to make a massive life overhaul. Here's what I suggest you try this week. Ease up on the fried and canned stuff, just a bit. Read the label on your seafood. If it's farmed or packed in soybean oil, maybe skip it. Try oysters, smoked, canned, or fresh. Or at least throw some pumpkin seeds or cashews into your snack rotation. And if you're already doing some of this, well done. You're not just eating smarter, you're aging better. Now, before I go, I want to hear from you. What seafood surprised you the most today? Are you team oysters or still on the fence? Drop it in the comments. I read every single one, and I'd love to hear what's on your plate. And if this video gave you even one useful tip, give it a like, hit subscribe, and share it with another guy over 60 who deserves to know the truth about what's really affecting his prostate. This is Missy Klein, men's health expert, and your go-to gal for aging well, reminding you, you've only got one prostate. Let's keep it happy, strong, and out of trouble.